Okay guys, so I made my colors, my reference colors here, and that's good to know. And I'm going to show you a cool thing about this. First of all, I'm going to start working on this lovely sphere down here, and I'm going to use the image on the left as a point of reference for all the values. But before I do anything else, I'm going to add a little plus here, and let me show you a little trick. Check this out. Let's say I wanted to get a specific color. So I'm going to come in with my pixel brushes, why not? And I am going to click on the eyedropper tool, and if you drag it around, watch this. If you come over, see where the little plus is, and the thing is, see how it turns a different color? So, and you can see if you look at down here where like underneath where I can't point, but where your colors are, you can see that the color changes depending on the eyedropper. So that's going to be a really convenient thing for me to use when I'm working with this. But another little trick that you guys don't know about yet, and I think I'll start with eyedropper, and I'm going to come in and grab let's grab the color red. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I am going to go to my shapes, and I have a circle, and I already made it the right size. So if it appeared too big, it's pretty easy. I just bring it in. Remember, you're not actually drawing with it yet until you designate something. Now watch this. Check this out. I don't want to actually draw a color in here. I guess. I could just go ahead and, in fact, maybe that would be the easiest thing to do. Maybe I should just go ahead and fill this in with a red. So if I guess I can't use the eyedropper when I'm doing that, so I'll just go ahead and grab red and hit fill, and it's gonna say, do you want to make this layer a vector, pixel? Oh, I'll make it pixel, whatnot. All right, oopsie. Go back. Okay, as you can see, this is gonna take a little bit of getting used to, even for me. So I'm going to go back, and here's the trick. All right, and again, don't beat yourself up if this takes a little bit of practice to do. Okay, so you're gonna make this the right size. I can't seem to get it just right. That's good enough, I guess. Okay, and just in case I make a mistake again, I'm going to make this on another layer, and I'm going to, instead of filling this in, I'm going to hit select. And what that does is it creates what's called a marching ant. So check this out. If I come in with another color, and let's say I grab something that's going to kind of make this appear darker, so kind of going a little bit more toward like a purpley color here, and maybe I'm going to grab this brush and maybe reduce the opacity a little bit and make it a little bigger. When I come in here and paint, watch what happens. See how like no matter what I do, if I paint in here, it only paints in the areas that are selected. And when I'm done, I can hit deselect, and now if I start painting, it'll paint everywhere. So what's beautiful about this is I'm going to go back and just redo that. So I'm looking at this, and I can see I'm going to have that reflected light there, but I'm going to have that shadow core. So I think I'll come in with a slightly bigger brush and start kind of painting in maybe that shadow core there. Definitely going to take some practice to get used to this. And there's a lot of different brushes I could use. And maybe I'm going to kind of bump it this way a little bit. All right. Yeah, there we go. And do a little bit of blending. And maybe bump it back this way a little bit. Yeah, I can see that creates a little bit more of a darkness. And I'm going to bump it all the way over, I think, to here. And kind of add a little bit of a highlight there. Sort of hard to see, but I am painting that. It's subtle, but you see, that does show up as like a highlight, and maybe even come in with a little bit of yellow. So from a distance, I think you still read this ball as kind of reddish with like a dark shadow, right? And if I feel like that purple went a little bit too much right there, which I kind of think it did, I'm going to bump it back to red, maybe reduce the opacity, and just kind of gently sort of paint over and kind of bring that back a little bit, but it blends in with the red, so I still get the reddish look of a ball. So you can kind of play around with it. And what's nice about it is all this extra stuff I'm doing is on an extra layer. And then I have my little highlight right there. So I'm going to bump it back. Over here. Get a little highlight there. Oh yeah, look at that. And you know what? I'm going to add a tiny little smidge of kind of like a white right here. Just a little bit. Maybe bump that brush down a little bit. Having a little bit too much fun, you guys. A little bit down here. Okay, so that's the first part.